The very first thing you should do before you first save your $10,000 is get out of debt first.
When you get paid, the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to take $50 and you're going to put that money in your savings account. It's even better if that savings account is not at the bank that you normally bank with, but in the case that it is, that's okay. You need to put that $50 in your account, act like it's not even there so you can get in the habit of saving. This is called paying yourself first, and you need to make sure that you do this every time you get paid.
Welcome back to the channel. I agree 100% with both of the videos. Before you look to save money, the first thing you have to do is get out of the current debt that you have, especially if it's high interest rate debt, high interest rate revolving debt or installment debt, because you're not making any headway by saving money here that's being attacked by inflation, along with paying very, very, very high interest rates. So you have to get ahead of the game, and it doesn't seem like it if you're in that position, because we want to see that balance growing. But you do yourself a favor. You actually get out of debt and put yourself in a better position because you're getting rid of that high interest rate debt that you have. Then, like the young lady is saying, when you get paid, you have to learn how to pay yourself first. This took me years to get into my mind, because I was always used to making sure my bills are paid. And that's something that you should do. But along with that, one of the line items in your monthly expense should be to pay yourself, so that you can save for an emergency fund, save for short and long-term goals like saving monies for a home or a car, what have you, and then ultimately saving for your future self, where you could put those monies in a vehicle that will outpace inflation and grow depending on where you are in life. There's so much going on. Government shutdown, AI replacing jobs. There's a lot happening. And what most of us do when we get bombarded with all of this news is we want to, retract in the shell and seek a place of comfort. But I want to challenge you that you have to continue to move forward. You have to process this information and then do what you need to do for you and your family. You have to get yourself out of debt. Most Americans are making about $43,000 a year. After taxes, it roughly breaks down to about $3,000 a month. And that just ain't gonna get it if you're in that situation. But we gotta start doing something to move forward. Stay encouraged, but stay focused and move forward. My name is Robert, and on this channel, my goal is to simplify the home loan process. We do so by bringing relevant topics to your attention, help you change your situation. For the purpose of those of you that want to get onto the housing ladder, I am a lender. My NMLS license number is 180100. That's 180100. And we've been helping families achieve the goal of home ownership over the last 20 years. If you'd like to have a conversation, check out my contact information in the description below, and let's see if there's a fit. Now, let's continue with the video and learn again how we could go about saving for ourselves so that we can change the tide and stop reacting to situations and be able to become more proactive, because that is a wealth trait. Let's check it out.
This is the best time of year for you to hibernate. Disappear, go into hiding, do not come out, and I need you to save money. During this time of the year, you can use the best excuses. Say you're saving up for holidays. You have a cold and you don't want to spread germs. Or you could just tell people that you're cutting back and you need to save money. You know how people who go to the gym like lock in? This is your lock-in time for saving money. Find a fun activity to do indoors. Puzzle, video games, coloring, whatever. Just remember, your goal until 2026 is to stay inside, save money. You will be surprised by all the money you are going to save by not going out. No concerts, no restaurant, no bars. Good luck. I believe in you. Love you guys. Stay frugal.
Before I tell you how to save your first $10,000, how I saved my first $10,000 the easiest and the fastest, people want to skip the hardest part in order to make this part extremely easy. Take care of all your bills. Make sure you don't have nothing in the background holding you back. It's going to make saving so much easier. Now, how I saved my first $10,000, like I said, I got out of debt first. And once I got out of debt, I got the first 2 paychecks. And I remember how much money I had coming in the house. Before I got out of debt, I was like, I had $0 every 2 weeks, and I was trying to work a whole lot of overtime just so I can go outside and have a little fun. Now that I was debt free, I didn't have to work as much overtime, if any at all. I can just live off one paycheck, and I had a whole other paycheck that I was saving to myself. So let's say I was making $1,700 a paycheck. All my bills added up for the whole entire month only comes up to $1,300 or $1,400 a month. I stay by myself and I keep my bills very low. So that means I was actually able to save some money out of that first check, and that also means when I got that second check, I was able to save all that money. Every single last penny out of that last check, I was able to save all $1,700. I was on a goal, I was on a mission, I was on the grind. I didn't want to buy no Jordans, I didn't want to go outside. I just dedicated my first year to giving them people all that money I owed. I wanted to dedicate another year to see, damn, I gave away all this money to debt. Now I have all this money coming in. I wonder how much I could just save for myself. And then just like that, a light bulb went off. You can work overtime now, because now you're not working overtime to pay them people off. Now you're working overtime so you can add more money to your bank account. So now with that $1,700 check, if I did some overtime, I would get maybe $3,000. I'll be able to save all that money and throw it to my personal bank account. And that's exactly how I saved my first $10,000. I did that month after month after month. Once you get out of debt, you realize everything that you're working for is yours. Every extra job, every extra overtime you pick up, that is yours. So it is much easier to save. I hope this helps.
Bruh said, and for those of you that don't know what that means, that's a good thing. That's a, yeah, you know, we did it. Furthermore, them people, he's referring to the bill collectors, folks that were taking money out of his pocket. So now that we've cleared that up, because I speak multiple languages, they're right. The first young lady talking about staying inside or not going outside, he mentioned it as well, the gentleman. There's a lot of peer pressure, especially in the time of the year that we're going into, or holiday season. And so if you're someone that is affected by that, don't try to fight it. Just use some of the excuses to stay inside over these next 3 months. Cyber Monday, Black Friday, all of these holidays and functions and things that tax your wallet will keep you in debt. The goal is to get out of debt and start building that nest egg to do whatever it is that you want to do, to buy back some more of your time. Know thyself. Don't get triggered. Don't let anybody put a battery in your back, gas you up. Know yourself and use excuses if you need to, because I know that's real for some people. Then once you get that momentum, as the gentleman said, you pay off those bills, you start realizing, hey, you know what? I have some extra money left over. Before you know it, you'll be where you want it to be. And in most cases, you'll surpass that because you're building those mental reps, that discipline, that muscle mass that will allow you to forego some of these things that are happening. Watch this video here. I put it here, but I did a video along these lines. This young lady bought a home in Toronto, and she specifically went over these things, and she was just doing minimum wage type jobs, several of them, but she specifically mentioned not going out all the time, drinks, buying food. All of these things cost money, and you're not cognizant to how much it's costing, especially if you're not tracking your expenses on a weekly basis, in my opinion. That's when you need to do these things so you can see how much money you're actually spending. If you have some tips on how to save money and change the narrative, we know all the bad. What are some solutions? Okay, so let us know down in the comment section, how do you suggest, or how did you change the narrative as it pertains to being reactive and not having enough to becoming proactive if you've done so.
Let's go over how we would save $10,000 and $20,000 in 1 year. I'm going to show you what you would have to put up monthly, bi-weekly, and weekly to have these amounts saved at the end of 1 year. I would suggest putting money that you're saving short-term in a high-yield savings account. For $10,000 monthly, we take $10,000 divided by 12. It's about $834 that you would need to put up every month. For $20,000, it's about $1,667 that you would have to put up in a month. Bi-weekly, we do the $10,000 divided by 26 weeks, $385 that we would have to put up bi-weekly. For for $20,000, it would be around $770 that we would need to put up. And weekly, we take $10,000 divided by 52, about $193 every week. Same thing with $20,000 divided by 52, $385 every week. I chose $10,000 and $20,000 because I had a few people ask me to do higher amounts. Even if you can't put up this much, just put up as much as you can. Try to work towards your savings goals. And again, I would put in a high yield savings account. It really helps me with the out of sight, out of mind thing and not spending the money.
So yeah, examples like that, very straightforward. These are the solutions that I'm speaking about. I have one. I keep telling you guys, there's a way you can make $10,000 to $20,000 extra a year by doing something as simple as I'm doing now, making these videos that help people along the way. Moreover, if you have a business that you can use these platforms to amplify your message to generate new customers, this is another way. You can start very easily. You can use your mobile phone because it's not about the devices, it's about the information, okay? And it's about how you deliver it. I'm only telling you what I know how to do and what I've done and actually doing. $20,000 a year is not difficult, but you have to be committed and you have to be someone that this might be able to fit. But this isn't the only way. There's a lot of different avenues, but work is required. It's simple, but not necessarily easy. And what's not easy is the consistency. So when I bring these videos before you, it's a process. I don't just show up and throw up. I actually put some time into it. But ultimately, it's to attract those of you that are looking to get onto the housing ladder. And hopefully you resonate with motives, my spirit, and say, you know what, that's somebody that I can trust and would like him and his team to help me get onto the property ladder. So this is another solution. If you guys have some, let me know. If you do decide to do videos like this, the reason I point out this microphone often is because if you decide to buy it, there's an affiliate commission that comes along with it. It doesn't increase your price, but again, I'm practicing what I'm preaching. And it's very important when you're doing videos, if you decide to do them, for people to be able to hear what you say. Most folks will give a nod or give some grace when the video quality isn't there, but if they can't hear you, then it's a no-go. So this Samsung Q2U, I do this from time to time to show you that I'm not just talking about it, I'm doing it. And I'm telling you, $20,000 extra a year isn't hard to do. The question is, are you willing to do this type of work? If not, what other areas, what other skill sets have you gained that can solve a problem? We have been trained and here recently accustomed to complaining. Well, complaints are opportunities for those that take them to solve a problem for someone, and the value you get will be commensurate to the level in which you solve the problem. Let me put my hands down. Folks been getting on to me about that. I talk with my hands, but I'm passionate about this. So don't just consume, but learn how to extract some value if that's what you want to do. So there you have it. My time is up, but I thank you for yours. As I always say, guys, let's be good to one another. Let grace abound. And before you get out of here, watch this video right here. And until the next time, indeed, y'all stay blessed.